The Bajwada village, which throbs with the music of Narmada river. Like the tears of autumn, trees on the riverside started shedding its leaves. Land had grown parched and dry as summer advanced. The man who came from the Mumbai city to cultivate in the village land was a wonder man to the people. He continued his routine of nurturing the plants and meditating on the flickering of leaves and befriending various organisms in his farm. Village folks lovingly called him Baba. He passed on new lessons to visitors which he had learned from his guru Dabolkar after years of experiments in eco-friendly farming. He made forest soil in his farmland. He became an encyclopedia of eco-friendly agriculture. The production in his farmland is unique. Birds and butterflies dance around ripe guavas and musambis in the golden twilight of evening.
Once we know what's happening underground, you're surprised to know every plant has capacity to attract a particular types of microbes, and they collect near the root zone area, which are more than which are there in the surrounding area. Suppose surrounding area 100 microbes are there, but when they collected by the roots, they become in thousands and thousands. So all these thousands and thousands and thousands microbes creates a vital energy in the plant, and which protect them from any insects. And this is the answer for the world.
This is a total farm philosophy, the dream work of the Karma Yogi named Deepak Suchde. This is the only way to rejuvenate the soil, which is in its deathbed from the excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers.
In Natueco science, we are trying to get maximum sunlight harvesting, deposit the carbon into the plant, and deposit then plant into the soil and increase the carbon of the soil. Now we can see we are sitting here. This is a sample of that soil that carbon is already deposited in this soil, and it's a particular smell like a first rain. When it is falling, we are getting some good smell of the soil, and this soil is 24/7 always smelling like this, because the microbial activity in the soil is continuously growing and growing, and so it helps to grow the plants. Again, plant absorbs the carbon from the air, again it deposits into the soil, and that reverse cycle, which was previously from soil to air, we are converting that from air to soil. That is the Natueco science method, that every farmer will have to think that how we can maximum keep our land under the sunlight. For the sunlight harvesting means under the greeneries, under the canopy of the plant, and maximum sunlight harvest deposit into the soil. The time will come that before 500 years there was no need of the water for the farming. The same day will come that there will be no need of water into the farming, because carbon level will be 7. Total TVC count, total viable count will be more than 3 crores per gram, absorbing the water from the environment, supplying to the roots, and the plants are growing, which natural processing being happen into the forest. That thing should be happen into the farm, and at that time zero expenditure and only earning and good quality of the food we are going to get.
Scientists from the Indian Council of Agriculture Research have certified that this farming method is practical in any climate and soil condition in India. Those who wish to reduce carbon footprint are practicing this method in America and England.
If you have children, the food that they're eating is not going to make them grow strong. So this is another absolutely essential requirement, and why organic farming and why the system here is so beneficial, and really hopefully should be practiced by every farmer in the world.
The basis of this farming is Natueco science. The farmers in Prayog Parivar have evolved this technique as a survival instinct. The soil is enhanced using the available eco-materials around your surroundings. When the soil is rich in nutrients, it helps the growth of feeder roots and it brings the smiling new leaves in them. This helps the plant to get more sunlight. The energy trapped in the leaf cell will be transformed into fruits. The Natueco farmer who knows the soul of the soil is never worried about pests and plant diseases. Apart from getting better results, this method emphasizes on the symphony of living organisms in the soil. It enhances the energy flow in nature. In this symbiotic farming method, insects, bugs, ants and even microorganisms are the farmer's friends. Packet biomania and biopesticides are not included in the Natueco farmer menus. He knows the theory that the insects come to decompose the dead parts of the plants and to be part of the biocycling.
It is a third tier farming, we can say. First tier is a Mossambi. Second tier is bottle gourd. And my friend, you know, the bottle gourd has vitamin B12 also. We tested our 10 products of this farm. All products contain vitamin B12.
Bamboos, plantains and Mozambique saplings are grown in Amrutamitti. Feeder roots will sprout in them. Transcending the various stages of life, they grow sky high. They store the energy in their leaves and trunks for photosynthesis. Only 2% of nutrients is necessary from the soil. The remaining 98% is received from the atmosphere. The real-life experience of the farmer and modern science join hands here. Ripe fruits in the guava tree feed humans as well as the various birds. Through this eco-farming, the carbon which increases the atmospheric temperature is brought down to the soil. Eco-diversity can be maintained by following the cosmic rules. The farmer, who is in symphony with nature, starts to love the trees. He expresses his love by hugging and kissing them. Suchde asks farmers to grow bajra, jowar and ragi, which are richer in nutrients than rice. They even flourish in drought. They help maintaining the availability of biomass to cover the soil. The Natueco model, which helps sustain a 5-member family, is called Gangama Mandal. In this scenario, drought, floods, or pest attack will not hinder the availability of food. In tune with the law of nature, Natueco harmonizes the engendered living organisms within the food chain. It is an easy way of preserving nature. This farming practice is the golden route to meditation. Those who consider plants as their fellow beings and communicate with them have found the truth of life. Before we step into the soil, we must keep in mind that we are only a part of the food chain. When a plant is sick, we should shift our attention to the soil it grows in. Farmers should always keep in mind that soil which does not have microorganisms cannot withhold water or ensure proper aeration through them. When soil is enriched, seeds sown by wind and birds become huge trees and a forest is born. The curry leaf trees and bamboos growing in this farm will fill our mind with the memories of an ever-growing forest.
Curry patta is grown by own root system, and here we are seeing the plant's growth vigorously. You see the health, you see the biomass, you see the canopy, all is wealth by itself.
When we spend time with plants and treat them like our kids, we could easily sense their thirst, hunger, reaction to various climate changes and their survival instincts. If we give enough nutrients to a plantain, it will transform sunlight into bananas. Bamboos and musambis will be our banks. The farmer who had turned his soil into a godown should not have to depend on banks. The nutrient-rich soil is the farmer's safe bank. He can trust the soil much more than he values money. To those who spend millions on laboratories to check the nutrient content in vegetables, Suchde asks how a fruit can get nutrients if the soil lacks it. It has been proven that vitamin B12, which we could only get through meat, is found in the vegetables grown in this soil.
We constructed some 30-40 beds in my farm, planted the spinach. After 45 days spinach came, we take it to laboratory, tested it, and we find 28.5 milligram iron again in that. So we got the confidence that if this method can be adapted, then not only the crop, not only the quantity, but the nutrition value is 60 times more than the traditional farming product what we are getting from the market. What is the system of the nature to give the water to the plants? That there are thousands of microbes. 1 gram of soil having 3 crores of microbes. They are living for 15 to 20 minutes. Their lifespan is 15 minutes. They are sucking the water from the air for their survival. They don't need the water from outside. They store the water in their stomach. After 15 minutes they die. They release the water to the root and the plant grows. So that is the natural system, and rest of his body which is being made by the Panch Mahabhuta, means entire known unknown nutritions of the universe is contained in that body of the microbe, is also being decomposed, and that nutrition goes to the plant. They will come, but we will have to create the eligible condition to stay there, comfortable condition for them. 40 years we have destructed the soil, but 4 years to construct.
Sun distributes its energy in equal quantities to all the plants, but the plants have different capacities to trap the energy received by them. Natueco farming helps to maintain these instinctive capacities of the plants. The civilized man who has misused energy and water in nature can regain his happiness through Natueco farming. This helps us to reduce the food mile and ecological footprint and become self-reliant. The health of the plant is determined by its developing roots. It is not fertilizers or pesticides, but microorganisms in the soil which help the plants to intake the various nutrients. This makes Suchde farm a self-reliant hub.
There are two types of roots in nature. One we call feeder roots, which provides nutrition from the soil to the plant. Another root we call anchoring root, which gives only support. Feeder roots remains only up to 9 inch. Unless and until growth of feeder roots is not growing under the ground, the canopy is not developing. And not only that, canopy you will see, but if no growth of roots, no fruit on the plant. Why? Whatever the fruits comes, nutrition comes from the soil. And feeder roots only develop in well fertile soil where you have well decomposed black biomass. When plant is in childhood, during that only feeder roots develop. And after the childhood is over, growth of feeder roots remains there. So whatever we want to do, the growth of plants, we should develop the feeder roots during the childhood. So manure or soil should be fertile after the germination of seeds. If you delay, the roots will not grow properly. And once feeder roots not develop in childhood, both plants are same size. But you are seeing here a plant having a feeder roots, and here you are seeing only anchoring root. If this plant does not produce anchoring feeder roots, then the growth will be weak of entire life. Here you are seeing feeder roots are more, and feeder roots develops in childhood more, and above the ground growth will be less. So when you are saying in childhood growth is less above the ground, there is a good sign that plant is growing under the ground. And under the ground growth is more important for entire life during childhood only.
IT professionals who assist Suchde in the farmland have realized that money and technology cannot retain our ecosystem, and our only hope of survival is through farming. Suchde, who has left his business in Mumbai and is living a happy life through farming, is their inspiration. After 2 or 3 weeks stay in Krishitirth with their family, they learn the soil making technology and return to their homes and practice the new technique and even turn a barren land to a happy eco farm.
So let us understand how to make this Amrut Jal. Take first a fresh cow dung of 1 kg, and that fresh cow dung has maximum microbial culture in that life. And then mix with 1 liter of cow urine. Cow urine contains different types of salt and acids, and that acids helps to make our Amrut Jal more active. We have to add 50 gram of jaggery and making the paste. And after making homogeneous mixture, we add 10 liter of water. Now stir it, mix it properly, with hands, so that entire mixture becomes perfect. We are doing 12 times clockwise and 12 times anti-clockwise. Microbes are working throughout the day, 12 hours for me. So I am offering my gratitude towards the microbes, the main source of making fertile soil. Now cover this solution under the shade or keep it under the shade for 3 days. During the 3 days, again you to do 3 times, morning 1 time, morning 1 time, afternoon 1 time, evening 12 times clockwise and anti-clockwise. Do this process for 3 days. On 4th day, add 100 liters of water in this, and that's called Amrut Jal. How we prepare this Amrut Mitti? Amrut Mitti is nothing but a mimicry of nature. In nature, also Mitti is prepared. why, how. Leaves are falling down, rain comes, it gives moisture, by winds it brings the soil, and one layer by one layer by one layer, it takes 100 to 500 years to make 1 inch of fertile soil. By visualizing, by understanding the way the fertile soil prepared in forest, Dabholkarji prepared the same soil using the mimicry of nature and minimizing the time. 100 to 500 years is to only 5 months. The Natueco science prepared Amrut Mitti, which gives life to everybody. What we are doing, we are collecting the biomass, a residue of the farm, chop it into 3 to 4 inches, dip it in Amrut Jal for 24 hours. What happens during the 24 hours? Every veins of the branch or grass is entering Amrut Jal inside the veins of this, and that Amrut Jal goes in the veins of the biomass, and biomass becomes faster to recompose started. So Amrut Jal is helping in fastening the process of decomposing. I will say a human intervention to help decomposing process of biomass. And once biomass is full of Amrut Jal in 24 hours, just take 1 liter of volume Amrut Mitti and weight it. A weight should come about 400 grams. If weight is more, it indicates the mineral part is heavy. One thing. Then you take a bunch of soil, just press it. You should not get hand dusty like this, just remove. And this bunch of biomass, press properly. When you throw at the height of this, and it should be broken down. This indicates the best structure of the soil.
The academic scientists who have never stepped into soil or even seen a farm and write their research papers on agriculture have jeopardized our farming practice and made our traditional knowledge go into oblivion. The theory that defies the natural law and destroys land is not real science. We have to find the reason why our soil is dying, and we must rectify our faults. This is possible through Natueco farming. Our life is intimately woven with the organic mysteries of the soil. It's from the life of the soil that we draw our sustenance. Soil is a treasure. All the necessities of life are available in the soil. Those who have learned to destroy nature cannot regain their life. Those who love soil cannot harm any form of life. People harm nature and its living organisms out of ignorance.
Whatever you want, whenever you want, you get the production. Once you know the plant physiology, plant chemistry, plant biology, plant physics, all this science can be learned by just sitting and talking and communicating with the plant itself without going in any university or any college. This is the answer, I will say, to solve the problem of the world. Just come with nature, sit with nature, communicate with nature, and you will get answer from within.
Let's live on this earth happily, sharing the terrain with plants and all other organisms. Nature will always be with us when we learn to share.